what's up? We're the Thrill Guys. Back for another fun video. Skiing edition.
Today we are at the Whistler Blackcomb Resort in British Columbia. My first time in Canada, which is pretty awesome. We're at the top of 7th Heaven lift
On the Blackcomb side.
Blackcomb side. Gorgeous up here.
In today's video, we're going to show you a timeline history of how the resort came to be. We're going to show some tips along the way and why you should come here during Pride, which is what's happening right now, the end of January.
Whistler Pride. Awesome mountain, awesome resort. Excited to show you guys what we have encountered on our first trip here. Bucket list.
Oh, don't forget, we're going to say something in this video that is the coolest thing we've ever seen at a resort. So stay tuned. Well, there's a very special reason why we're starting this timeline journey off the mountain.
And behind us, terrifying lake of ice.
Because in 1911, Myrtle and Alex Philip
Came to Whistler.
came
So
to
they made a
Whistler,
friend.
and they just loved it so much that they dreamed of building a lodge, and the lodge was built on this property,
We're at Alta Lake,
which means high lake.
and we are at the Rainbow Park, which used to be known as the Rainbow Lodge.
So 1914, the Rainbow Lodge was created, and unfortunately it burned down in the 70s, but they put this really cool park together to memorialize it.
There's 3 guest cabins that remain.
In 1914, the Pacific Great Eastern Railway made its stop in Whistler, making that trip from Vancouver now 1-day affair instead of 3-day, which used to be getting on a steamboat all the way up to Squamish and then a 2-day hike just to get into this area. Nope.
All right, we made it to 1960 when a group of businessmen from Vancouver saw Whistler as an opportunity to host the Olympics. So this was nothing. They built it up from the ground up, and it is now what we see it to be today because of these guys.
Our timeline journey continues.
In the Arctic.
It's freezing. It's really cold. So around the 1960s, this mountain actually was named London Mountain. Obviously, they wanted to change the name as to not be recognized by the United Kingdom's capital, London. So they renamed it as Whistler Mountain. And Whistler gets its name from the nickname of an animal called the Whistlers, which are Hoary Marmots.
Okay.
And we don't know what that sounds like, so here you go. That's pretty loud. We didn't hear any whistling marmots while we were here.
I wish we had. It's like that beaver from the commercial that goes.
Yeah, that's a meme waiting to happen.
And then in 1966, the Garibaldi Lift Company officially made this a resort by adding its first ski lift and gondola.
Garibaldi actually has the best opera
Can't see it.
on the mountain, right at the base. So definitely hit that up every day if you can.
Very cool lodge. GCL, I think, is the acronym for it. So
They have a cool DJ. I even heard a live band performing there one night, so check it out.
in 1977, they started construction on the current Whistler Village that we know today. The goal was to theme it after some of the European villages in the Swiss Alps. Is that true?
Alpine villages in general. Yeah.
What that brought us was an awesome pedestrian village where there's no cars, obviously. And they hit the nail on the head. This is, again, we said this is the best village I think we've been to. I thought we've been to a ton.
Super friendly, like super easy to get around. So many shops, bars, restaurants, and so many good restaurants and bars. Every place we went to has been amazing.
Opry, straight from the lift to the Opry. It's incredible. And there's tons of lodging, so stay in the village if possible.
Here we are on the Excalibur Gondola.
It's early.
Where are we at in the timeline? 1980.
1980, Blackcomb officially opens as its own resort next to Whistler.
Yeah, and it wasn't 17 years later, 1997, that Whistler and Blackcomb become Whistler Blackcomb, the resort together, which, when they merged, was the largest skiable acreage resort in North America, the continent,
Education.
with over 8,000 acres of skiable terrain.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's so
it's
big.
like 16 bowls, so many high-speed quads. I don't even think they have any low-speed stuff, and tons of gondolas. So it's still undecided which side we like better, but Blackcomb definitely has you skiing through like the tree-lined runs, which we're big fans of. Blackcomb side. Amazing blues through the trees. Dang.
Yeah, views are incredible.
Just beautiful up here. I mean, look at that. We're gonna miss Glacier Express. It just went down for maintenance right before our trip, so we're not gonna be able to ski the famous inbounds glacier run. 1992 saw Altitude, which was Whistler's first gay pride event, and that sparked what we all know is one of the biggest gay pride events in the world, actually. In 2008, we saw the PEAK Gondola Express, which was the first gondola or chairlift connecting two mountains, bridging the gap.
Cool. So cool.
When I say literally bridging the gap, there's not that many towers. The towers themselves stand 100 to 200 feet tall, and then there's just huge span over the valley floor below, which is a drop of something like 1,400 feet.
1,400 feet.
Each gondola holds 20 people, and then there's two specialty gondolas which have glass bottoms, which we'll show you here, which is really fun. Gotta wait to the side.
13-minute wait.
Yeah,
that's not bad. It's worth it.
Definitely check this one out though. It's such a ride, even if you're not skiing. Do it.
To peak.
So ways down there, 1,400 foot drop from the center. Ooh. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what does. The whole span, I believe, is over 2 miles. And then I believe it's a little over 1 mile to span with no towers right there in the center. And again, I think the biggest dip right there is 1,400 feet down to the bottom there. That's a whole building basically to fit under there.
All right, so in 2008, Whistler Pride had their first Pride Parade on the mountain, which is a really cool event here.
Our group loves it.
We've been to a few of them in Mammoth. The big difference here is Whistler Pride puts on a party prior to the parade. So there's a cat DJ box. It's so cool. This thing goes around the mountain to different resorts, but they had a party there with drag queens and free bubbly and cookies. And then the parade is led by the biggest pride flag I've ever seen. What was it, like 50 feet by 50 feet?
Massive.
So cool. Awesome event to participate in here at Whistler if you guys come for Pride Week. It's a do not miss. And obviously, go big or go home. Come in like drag or costume or rainbow, everything paraphernalia. It's awesome.
One of the cool things about Pride at Whistler is they do little sanctioned events. This one is a race, open to anybody. You meet at the race center at the Blackcomb side. Check the events calendar. But yeah, I guess you win prizes for the fastest, slowest, and then the person that gets closest to the time that they say that they're going to get. Okay, some tips. We just want to share some things that we love about the mountain. We didn't do too much research when we booked this trip.
I knew nothing about this resort outside of the fact that I wanted to come here.
Yeah, it's been a bucket list. Obviously, the terrain, the vastness of it, 8,000 square feet, the largest ski resort in North America. For me, I loved all the groom runs. I don't even understand how they can do so many groomed runs overnight. What do you think? Isn't that crazy?
I mean, yeah, but at night you can see like there's just like twinkling little lights all over the hill. It's pretty cool.
So they have an amazing groom trail like resume.
Yep.
Here's their fleet of snowcats. Telling you, they do such an incredible job grooming this massive place. Terrain is massive. You've got your bowls, you've got your trees, your glades, your carved out tree runs, everything.
Crazy vert. You're getting miles and miles of miles on the downhill.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And from a beginner standpoint, there's a ton of greens, blues.
Everything.
Well, sketchy, but totally worth it. So
yeah, some
it's
of
on
the
your
blues
list. Make it happen.
Probably should be some blacks. I've even gotten scared on some of the blacks here, so just know what you're getting into. I don't even want to know what the double blacks are, which I can do at some resorts in America, like Mammoth. But
yeah, like the range of options is just limitless here, I feel like.
Their lift system's pretty awesome too. Everything is like a multi-cable high-speed chairlift or gondola.
Another favorite. It's pretty obvious, but the views are incredible.
Yeah.
360 views from the top of the mountains. It's just insane. Mountains never stop.
Everywhere you go. Here we are on the Blackcomb side, Seventh Heaven. We just want to give you a
Bird's
showcase
eye
of
view.
our favorite place on Whistler, which is what?
Symphony Lift.
Symphony is interesting because it's only open, delayed start, like usually 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you don't catch the last chair out, you got to catch a snowcat out. But it's beautiful. It has these like roller coaster rolling hills.
All through the trees.
Everything dumps out in the trees
so
at the
nice.
end.
Wide and open. It's awesome.
Beautiful. But apparently the wind gets bad. Luckily we haven't had it too crazy. But yeah, Symphony.
Check it out.
That right there is Seventh Heaven. What do you think, Brett? Was that your favorite over there?
Favorite of both mountains, actually, yes.
Of both mountains?
Yeah, that was, well...
So Symphony here.
Symphony and Whistler, Seventh Heaven, specifically Cloud 9 run.
Cloud 9.
That was so cool. The Glacier Bay was awesome.
Cloud 9 is right there on the outer right side.
And you have the
It
sun.
goes all
which is
the
like
way
still
up
in.
there. Brett on Cloud 9. Yeah. This is Glacier Bowl skiing at its finest. Except for the lines. Yeah, the sun all day over there.
Crazy. There's lines, so plan for that, but it's worth the trip.
Yeah.
The trek.
Yeah, so that's a good pointer. Be careful about Cloud 9 and Symphony because they're in the sun almost all day and that's where the crowds go. So kind of pick and choose your battles.
Lots of sunshine in Whistler in the morning, and then it kind of moves over to Blackcomb, like you can see now.
Fun little game to play while you're standing in line. Put your poles out. See if you can catch a bird. It wasn't until 2010 where Whistler got their chance to host the actual Olympics. A lot of the events took place here, including a lot of the downhill skiing events, as well as bobsled. There's even some, practice aerial jumps on the Blackcomb side, and yeah.
We did not do those, just FYI. Not yet.
The bobsled looks fun. It's like $250 a person. It's like a 30-minute class, and then you get to go down the course. So next time. There goes Brett. This is the lower part of the Dave Murray men's downhill Olympics 2010, Vancouver. This is the creek side of Whistler. All right, so what are some other tips you have?
Oh,
Come during Pride.
Yeah, come during Pride. It's just like awesome party time.
And the town already has a crazy party environment. The operas are the best I've ever seen at any resort. But the gay aspect of things really brings it up a notch.
Yeah, if you guys have a group, grab a table at the Longhorn Club. It is like Vegas on steroids in the mountains. It's insane. Such a good time.
You got the lights. You got the Cairo blast coming from the ceiling.
Yeah, everything. It's champagne cannons. It's crazy. It's so much fun.
the mountain has such an amazing plethora of lifts and everything, and they're high speed and they're very long. But there are some choke points, such as the top of the PEAK Gondola to Big Red. That's the only place for people to go, is either hit that chairlift or try to, ski traverse over to another. So there's a lot of choke points here. Try to hit up Symphony and Seventh Heaven in the first thing in the morning, because they get the most sun. So I definitely would probably recommend that. However, again, some caveats that everybody's going to be heading there. So it's kind of dealer's choice. What do you want? And we experienced this mountain on blue sky days. It was very icy. So we're getting a different experience than a lot of people, because I've heard this mountain is so big that it has like 4 climates on it. And we only got to experience sun and ice.
But it was fine. Like, the ice wasn't even that bad.
Still no, it wasn't. It was great. This is Upper Franz. They have an alert at the top that says experts only, even though it's a blue, just because of the icy conditions. And that's Alta Lake right down there. And that's Brett trying to find his line. Another thing I wasn't expecting is the village. It's completely pedestrian only. There's no cars. It's massive. So you're basically walking around a giant mall to go from hotel to hotel, from restaurant to restaurant,
bar to bar. It's crazy.
Yeah, so hotel to lift. Like, it's really
there's
cool.
Escape rooms.
Yeah.
Like, there's everything here.
Well, that wraps up the video.
Whistler's amazing.
Yeah, definitely want to be back here. Definitely number 1 ski resort that I've ever been to so far.
Yeah, we need to come back and check out more of it, because we didn't get to see, well, I feel like maybe half, not even half.
Again, 5 days. 5 days. That's what you need up here. Do it.
Monday through Friday would be great.
Yes. The weekends are pretty crowded.
Come with a small group. There's amazing restaurants. We're standing in front of Earl's Kitchen and Bar, which was awesome. We ate it last night.
Yeah.
So tons to do.
We got lost at Whistler. Took a wrong turn. Took Brett on some gnarly moguls. What do you think, Brett?
Great. If it wasn't so icy, it wouldn't be that bad. But...
Yeah, it's pretty icy. That's where we were. That would have been a little too scary for them.